What's going on, guys? Episode 4 of the Firkin. I'm just gonna keep going while Nick laughs. Just what's up, guys?
Keep going.
Okay,
No, keep going. Keep
just
going.
keep going. All right. So
We gotta kill.
yeah.
No, we gotta kill it.
No, we're gonna keep going here because welcome to the Firkin Podcast. We can barely get ourselves together for the intro today, but we're here,
Oh, I'm literally crying. I don't know
and,
why.
and it's episode 4. An exciting time in the Firkin Podcast history, I guess.
Ugh.
So much, in fact, that Nick is in tears right now. So,
I don't even know why.
yeah.
I have no idea why.
But anyways, even though our intro wasn't that well put together and we barely made it through, we do have an exciting lineup today of things that we're looking to cover. Obviously, like, some big stuff happened with... I'm sure you guys saw like our other extra videos that have been coming out this week because it's been busy.
We're gonna keep going, but I didn't record any of that.
Oh, that's okay. I've been recording. But yeah, anyways, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed some of the extra content we put out. But I mean, with just how much that happens with especially Super Bowl every year with all the trailers and stuff, we kind of had to spread it out through the week to kind of not just have information overload during the podcast, right, Nick?
Mm. And we wanted to do the more meaningful, trailers that we saw.
Yeah.
So,
but what else do we have going on today?
No, I'm thinking about it. The only trailer reaction we're doing is Into the Multiverse, right? Which will be out by the time of this podcast.
Oh,
we were thinking of doing the Lord of the Rings one, but we decided not to.
Yeah.
At the end of it. Well, we're going to talk about that in this one. So it's going to be a perfect segue for me to bring out my good old notes here.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I will go over the list that we have today. Now, there wasn't any crazy buyouts this week, unfortunately. So we can't talk about company buying X company, which is weird because I thought that was going to happen every second week this year. But I guess not anymore. It's sad.
Oh, really? It is.
Yeah, but okay, so we're gonna start with the Nope, our Nope reaction to the Nope trailer that released at the Super Bowl. Although we're gonna watch the 2-minute version, not the Super Bowl version.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about this trailer, so I know absolutely nothing about this movie going in it. I don't think Josh knows anything about it. So get our first reactions to that, and then we're gonna quickly switch to the Lost City reaction, which both of us also know very little about that.
Yep.
And then I don't even know the right name of this. It's like this trailer came out a long time ago.
It did.
So, but I think it's still worthy of a reaction just because I'm interested to see what it's about.
Yes.
But it's the Buzz Light trailer. It's like a 3D almost live action.
You mean Buzz Lightyear?
Trailer of Buzz Lightyear, but it's called Lightyear.
Yes.
It came out I thought it came out a few months ago, but
no, it's still pretty recent if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Why? How long ago is it saying that it came out?
A while ago, but
I'm pretty.
This is weird.
But I think we're covering just because like it's resurfaced. Obviously, again with Super Bowl, they have so much content that releases to get people excited for the new year, especially with I think this year, with the fact that everything's kind of slowing down with COVID, it's kind of helping. I think this is going to be a very big boom year for theaters again. So, and I think that kind of showed, it shown through at the Super Bowl this year with all the stuff that they had released. So.
Yeah, there's a lot, and forgive me for being out of it for a second.
No, it's all good.
I thought someone was hacking my computer.
Oh.
Because my trailer kept going on and off. It was like flickering.
Oh, that's weird.
And I was like, what the heck's going on? But then I realized my notes was on my space bar. So that was it. So I'm just like, this is Tired Nicholas all over again.
Wait.
So
funny story with that. I've been watching, so some of that you guys should know, I've been watching Silicon Valley lately. And anybody who's been watching that, or who has watched that, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you said it was because you had a notebook on your space bar.
Yeah.
So basically they create a compression company and like they're trying to pitch to get somebody to like use their compression stuff. And they end up going this porn site ends up like picking them up, and basically this guy got fired from like a rival company, and like they kept pissing him off by mistake that like they're worried that he's gonna hack the system. And what ends up happening is like they get a phone call and they're like, dude, you're deleting like lines of code, and like they're looking at all their computers and like everything's just getting deleted like super fast. I'm like, oh my god, like what's going on? And one of their investors who showed up that night put a bottle of tequila down on somebody's laptop on delete. So like nobody had control, right? Because that one delete was just overriding. So they're like, oh my goodness, it's like they're in the house or something right now. And then he like takes it off. And they're like, what?
Oh my god.
They're just like, oh my god, it just stopped. And then he like looks around and then just like does it again. And they're like, oh my god, it's happening. So yeah, it was so funny. So yeah.
That's hilarious.
Check out Silicon Valley.
All right. But yeah, then we're going to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll watch the triple reaction today. And then
Triple
we're going to
threat.
talk. Then we're going to do some Stranger Things, talking about it. There's some announcements with that, some posters. We're going to go over them like we did with the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yes.
We'll go through that. And then we're going to talk about are Marvel shows actually going to leave Netflix?
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about that and give you the answer then. And then we're going to talk about the Oppenheimer cast.
Yes.
Which looks very promising.
This movie looks very...
It
looks very promising for all the history buffs too, I think, because I know Nick... I enjoy history, but I know Nick enjoys it a lot more, so I think that's something to get excited about for sure.
Yes, I love my history, and I think Christopher Nolan's an amazing director, so
also
big fan of his. He's a big inspiration of mine for my filmmaking career.
Yeah.
With that, and then we're gonna... They announced a D&D live action show, so we'll give our thoughts on that and any additional information on that at that time. And then we're going to talk briefly about the Super Bowl, not very long.
No.
And we're also going to talk about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Although we're going to be honest with you, we haven't been hearing too much about Olympics, because here in Canada, without getting too much into it, there's been two other things that I kind of been overshadowing it.
It's been very hectic
in the news, which if you're watching it within the next few weeks in 2022, you probably know exactly what we're talking about. But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to get away from that. So
exactly.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to share some personal stuff. Then we're going to talk about, there's a bunch of Spider-Man news that I will share. Josh doesn't know any of it, and that's why I'm being very vague about it. Although it'll be kind of spoiled for you in the timestamps below. You'll see the more accurate title for that. And then we're going to talk about, as the Lord of the Rings fan here, I'm going to go in depth about talking about the new trailer that came out at the Super Bowl. I'm also going to talk a bit about the backlash of the trailer and just overall of the Amazon series, because the series is getting a lot of backlash right now. And then they also announced the Lord of the Rings anime of all things, so I'm going to talk about that. And then Josh is going to share his thoughts on the Jurassic World trailer. I haven't seen it myself, but I'll chime in whenever I can, I guess. And then we're going to end today's segment talking about NFTs and why I hate them. Yeah. I'm just going to be blunt. If you like NFTs and you don't want to hear anything negative, then this is probably not the podcast for you.
I'm definitely curious. I'm curious to hear more about the NFTs, just because I haven't been following it too much. It definitely, from what I know, it's definitely caused a bit of just debate on the internet from a whole bunch of different standpoints. But yeah, like I said before, it's going to be an exciting podcast because, again, I think just with the beginning of the year coming up, this is when everything kind of gets announced, right? So yeah, it'll be kind of cool to see what we think about. And again, kind of just a quick note, we didn't have time to watch all the trailers, so that's why for some of them we're going to we decided we're just going to discuss them, kind of be like, that's exciting, but if we just watch trailers, that'd be the full podcast today probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of trailers that came out. So.
Yeah, but like Nick said, we're gonna start off by watching the triple threat of Nope, Lightyear, and The Lost City, which should be interesting to see how they go. So I guess we'll dive into it and let's see what we think.
Yeah, we'll start with Nope here. So I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what it's about. So let's...
Yes, let me pull this up.
I can't really give you much of a discussion beforehand because it's not like Halo or Lord of the Rings where I already know like what it's kind of going to be about or can make predictions. Like I have nothing. So
I mean, I guess like some quick notes beforehand. Steven Yeun, who played Glenn, supposed to be in it, so that's kind of promising.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Anybody who, yeah, I know I've been kind of following Jordan Peele's stint in horror. For anybody who doesn't know this, like Jordan Peele, right? Originally a comedian, he does a lot of stuff with Michael Key. They're both on Mad TV, so yeah, he's been for me really quick. It's actually been surprising how good his horror movies have been so far. Like he writes and directs his own movies, and I think they've all been pretty phenomenal. So we'll definitely we'll dive into the trailer here and see what we think. I just gotta make sure I find the right one.
Are you good?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Are you actually good, Boomer yes. Josh? Okay. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 1.5, -1, -0.5, minus another 0.5 equals go.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather.
Okay.
But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say since the moment pictures could move, yeah, skin in the game.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not this.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird start.
I think I need to turn my audio down a bit.
Interesting start.
I hope this is not copyrighted music. Oh.
Oh. Strange stuff happening.
From?
Uh-oh. I'm actually getting chills now.
Oh god, here we go.
What the heck?
What the heck is that? Holy fuck, that got me.
Oh my
that
god.
got me.
Oh my god. Nope.
That actually got me.
Nope.
Oh. Well, I can see why it's called Nope.
Yeah, what?
They got work for that.
This is the thing I like about Jordan Peele. His trailers are so confusing to watch.
There we go. Aliens? Oh, zombies? Crabs? What? That was an alien.
Is this an alien movie?
It's like a horror alien movie? It must be. Oh, it has to be aliens, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
What the hell?
Oh my god. What is going on?
I'm intrigued. And I'm awake now too. 7
There we go.
22.
Yes.
Well, I have no idea what I just watched, but I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's what a trailer should be.
Yes. Honestly, yeah, most I could say Jordan Peele delivers for me again. Because, again, if you've watched any of his other movies, his trailers... I'm sorry, for his movies, some of the best trailers I've seen in the last few years. Because, like, they're so ambiguous, unpredictable. Yeah, he just... Honestly, I just can't believe that he used to be in comedy. Like, he still is in comedy, but the fact that he's actually such a... like, just an effective horror... Oh.
There are some.
Just like just such an effective horror movie director. So, yeah, sorry, I had another trailer start playing there. So if you hear that audio, that's why. But yeah, I don't know. I've loved what he's done. I'm excited to see what he's doing next. I guess more like another quick note too. I think it's cool that he's kind of using this to kind of help teach some like social justice stuff when it comes to like, exposure of like African American actors and stuff. I think he's doing a really effective job of that. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, other than that, I'm with Nick. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm very intrigued and very excited to see what comes of Nope. I was already saying Nope at certain parts of the trailer, so I'm sure it's going to be horrifying.
I can tell you they got me with that jump scare.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, they did. I think it's probably going to be extraterrestrial, though. And honestly, it's been a while since I've seen a good alien horror movie. So, should be good. Anyways, on to the next one. Which one do we want to do now?
Let's do Lightyear. Actually, no, let's do Lost trailer because that's more new.
Yes. The Lost City? Actually, funny enough...
City, not Lost trailer.
You know what trailer started playing in the background was the one for that new Elvis movie that's coming out. But I don't know enough about Elvis.
Neither do I, so...
Could be cool. Tom Hanks is going to be in it. Apparently, though, it's more about the manager. Like, Tom Hanks plays his manager, I guess, and apparently it's more focused on, like, him and how he, I guess, controls Elvis's career. Don't really know. But on to bigger and better things. Lost City trailer, 2020.
Again, I know nothing about this one. I just know it has a pretty all-star cast, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, I'm with you on that. So this is Paramount Pictures now.
Just double check. I am recording still, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Paramount Pictures.
Yeah.
It is 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
So, I mean, like, yeah, so right off the bat, my freeze frame already has Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock, and Daniel Radcliffe. Like, what?
Yep.
That's a start.
That is a start. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
3, 2, 1. Here's a jump.
Oh, that's funny. Now it starts.
Straight to the lost city.
Okay.
Now, prepare to die.
There are hundreds of snakes in this temple just waiting for us to show up.
What? Why aren't they biting that guy?
This is ridiculous. Delete.
Whoop. Oh, she's...
It's like a video game she's programming.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Loretta, we need you to promote your new book on the law.
Oh, it's a book. Okay.
Spend your life in the bathtub with Chardonnay with eyes.
This is so unrealistic because...
Yeah. Oh my god.
You do know you're not Dash, right? Dash is a character I made up. Dash. Oh my god. Oh crap.
Miss Sage, I enjoyed your book about
All
the
right.
city, and I believe you're the one who can
Honestly,
find its treasure.
I like that they pick some
He's
off...
the villain?
I have to
Maybe, yeah.
I must insist.
I'm just gonna say right now, I like that they picked like offbeat comedians because all of them are funny, but they're not known for it. So,
Loretta Sage is missing.
I'm gonna rescue her. I just want her to think of me as more than a cover model.
Alan, what are you doing here?
We're here to save you. I'm certified CPR, I'm certified CrossFit. I have snacks.
See, this is a fun action movie.
yeah, this is gonna be good.
What are you doing? Don't do that. Oh god, get out of there. This is not what jungles eat people like us.
What is that? Get it off. Please. I can feel him sucking my soul. River like a bandit. Feels like there's more.
Holy mother of God.
They're just sucking on my butt like a big old Jamba Juice.
We're so close.
This looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
If I don't get to this island, my friend and her cover model are going to die.
I am driving.
Brad Pitt?
Oh.
Brother Sage, get you out of here.
Oh my god.
Handsome.
My dad was a weatherman. She's in there. What are you doing in there?
Oh, I have to see this. Oh, I've actually cried. That was hilarious. Oh,
Yeah. All right.
that was way. I don't know what I wasn't. I don't no idea what I was expecting, but that blew me out of the water.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be that good.
I would really. You know what? That reminds me of. That really reminds me of. Fuck, what's it called? The one with like The Rock and Kevin Hart and
Jumanji.
Jumanji. I love the Jumanji movies. So like this is like right like similar. It looks like, but in a good way. Like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we just recorded our Uncharted review, and I just want to say this looks like an actual good adventure movie. I'm just saying.
I mean, so what I meant earlier is like I know like a lot of them have been in comedies, but the thing that I like about it though is that like they picked a lot of people that aren't necessarily just known for that. I also like, don't get me wrong, like it's cool in comedies to see them like pick like the same actors to work together because they have chemistry, but I always get excited when it's a new combination like Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. That to me is I was like, oh, like, okay, that's interesting. I've never seen them do comedy together, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, I don't know. I've always said I love when it's an action comedy because I find a really good action comedy could be like action comedies are like some of the best movies I've ever seen, but it does come with it's tricky because I've also seen action comedies that I've always said action comedies are like the toughest to pull off, but like when you do, they're pure gold. Like, and my best argument for that is like The Hitman's Bodyguard. That was like, for me, that was like one of like the best like action comedies ever. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with this. I think the cast looks phenomenal. I love Brad Pitt's joke. As someone who's in broadcasting, I don't know how having a father for a weatherman instantly makes you attractive because but I still love that that's just his excuse for it.
Hey, I love the chemistry in it. Like
it looks good.
It looked really good. Like I'm really excited for it. And I just realized we did not watch the Super Bowl commercial of it. We watched the 2-month-old trailer.
Oh, should we watch the new one? No, that's okay. Either way,
whatever.
Now you know.
We watched a 2-month-old trailer.
Go watch the new one if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure it's no different, but I'm sold. I'm sold on that.
Absolutely.
I'm adding that to my list.
And I guess one closing note, I'm just excited to finally see Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe, like he's had a good career since Harry Potter, but he hasn't been in any like huge mainstream blockbusters. So I'm kind of excited to finally see him like getting back into just more widely popular movies because like I think he's a great actor. So it'll be cool to kind of see him like go comedian after being like a wizard for so many years. So it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be hilarious for him to play like the villain billionaire in this.
Yeah.
God, that's going to be funny. Billionaire Harry Potter.
That had me laughing, honestly. Like, that actually looks pretty good.
You heard me laugh. I mean, I have a loud laugh, so.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's check out Lightyear. This is, again, something I don't know much about. It's by Pixar. So that's always promising.
I'm excited because
and I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it's about obviously about Buzz Lightyear, but
wait, who's Buzz Lightyear? No, I'm just kidding. That's why I'm excited because like as a 90s kid, I grew up watching Toy Story, so I think it'll be a cool origin story. I mean, once we see the trailer, you'll see this, but like I know it's not about the actual toy; it's about the hero that they based the toy off of, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've seen this before?
I think I've seen the trailer, but like also I don't remember the trailer, but like they've also just discussed, like I've just read like an article or like saw online that it's about like the hero that the toy's based on, basically. So
okay,
I think that'll be kind of cool.
So,
but
yeah, well, let's check it out and we'll give our 2 cents after.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm on Pixar's, and it was published on February 8th.
Yeah.
And it's 1 minute and 55 seconds.
February 8th, 12 days ago. All right.
You good?
Give me 1 sec. Yep, Pixar. There we go. Go full screen. Come on, Josh. Faster. All right, we're good.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
For a 4-minute flight. Isn't that something?
We're all ready if you are, sir.
Well, let's go find out if this...
We got a breach in the perimeter.
Okay.
How does that just breach?
All right.
Buzz Lightyear mission log. After a full year of being marooned on this planet,
So this is actually Chris Evans who plays Buzz.
our first test flight is
So that'll be
I
cool.
thought the voice sounded familiar.
Yeah. Goes from being Captain America to astronaut.
I like this music.
Yeah. It's like the new Space Odyssey kind of thing, right?
Hello, Buzz. I am Socks. Personal companion.
Oh, that's cute.
Personal companion robot.
Just a massive robot.
Oh yeah.
I
think-
this.
I think
I
that's
really
Zurg.
like the.
Terrifying. I regret having joined you.
Yeah, that
Okay,
soundtrack
this
though.
trailer
Oh my
is
goodness.
really good.
Oh, I'm so excited they bring in Zurg into it too. Like, yes.
I can provide sleep sounds if you like. I have several options. Summer night, ocean paradise, whale calls.
No. White noise is fine.
Very well.
Good night, Socks.
Good night, Buzz.
Oh, I relate to that. That's like my Amazon blank that I can't say.
Oh,
Wow, that looked really good. Okay.
yeah. That's gonna be.
I gotta say,
awesome.
all these trailers have blown me away.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved Toy Story as a kid, man. So it was cool that they had like obviously Buzz Lightyear. I love that they have Zurg because like I'm gonna be honest, like I love the battle between the Zurg toy and Buzz Lightyear in the movies. I thought that it was so freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be.
I think it's gonna be
That's
cool.
gonna be good.
And I mean it's Pixar.
I.
It's Pixar, so it better be good because again, I think there's gonna be a lot of eyes on it. I think there's gonna be kids watching it, but more importantly, you're gonna have like again millennials or like 90s kids that are going to be watching this being like, you better not screw this up because like I grew up loving this toy from Toy Story and I remember having a Buzz Lightyear. One of the best toys ever, man.
Yeah, this looks really good. Like,
Yeah.
I was blown away by all three of these trailers.
Yep.
Again, I don't know if I'm gonna go see Nope in theater necessarily, but I'll definitely watch it whenever it comes on streaming services. But I'm 100% sold on Lost City
Yeah.
and Lightyear. I was blown away.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think, I'm excited about all three of these movies. I think, I'm excited for them to kind of, expand a little bit on the Toy Story universe. I think that's, I don't know. That's like one thing when they announced it, I'm like, see, like that's something that'd be kind of cool to watch because I remember they used to have a Buzz Lightyear show that was about the person, not the toy. So I think it could be really cool to see that. Then you got a really good comedy coming up with the Lost City. Brand new concept. That's more of like an original too. So like it's like something brand new. And then same with Nope, right? Nope is gonna be full of like unexpected turns, and we're not sure what to expect from that yet. And I think overall, these three trailers, just kind of also sneak peek at what should be an exciting couple of years of movies coming up, especially this year, as the world starts to go back to a little bit of normalcy and movies start to hit theaters again. I think they're really trying to get people excited to come back to the theaters, right? After being able to enjoy movies from home.
Yeah. After
yeah.
like no movies in 2020,
Yep.
very limited amount in 2021.
Even this year
seems to be a lot more coming out this year.
Yeah. So one, again, I know we don't want to talk too much about COVID, but just as somebody who was in the industry, they kind of predicted this, where it's like there was going to be a very big like boom for movies, and again, like the fact that we also listed a bunch of other trailers that we're talking about today, like it's definitely showing, and I think it's going to be an exciting time to go back and see some movies on the big screen, honestly. So.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Which,
yeah.
Speaking of movies or shows, we could delve into another popular show this time on Netflix.
Yes.
Stranger Things got some announcements recently.
Here we
And
go.
if you guys don't know, how I feel about Lord of the Rings is how this guy feels about Stranger Things.
Yes.
He's a fanatic of it. Just like I'm a fanatic of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I've watched them since day one. The best story to explain it so we don't go too far into like how crazy I am about it. The first day this show ever came out on Netflix, I'm pretty sure I watched like the entire show before I worked. Like that's when I was working at the theater, so I didn't work till that night, and I finished like the whole thing. I remember going to work and be like, "Guys, have you watched Stranger Things?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm only on like," and people are like, "Yeah, I'm on like episode 2," and I'm like, "Cool, so we can't talk about it yet." And they're like, "Oh, why?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm done already." Like, and oh yeah, but yeah, super exciting. Very mysterious show. It's been good for 3 seasons. The Duffer Brothers to me are probably some of like the best. I think like they're definitely up there now with like some of the best writers for television right now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're announcing right now. Nick mentioned some new posters, so I guess we'll take a look at that. So
I linked that in the Discord.
Oh, perfect. So I can.
So and we go in order by the first or the fourth one.
Right.
So, yeah, there's that, and while I'm waiting for Josh to pick that up, they also announced that it's going to be released in 2 parts this year, a few weeks apart. Let me look up the exact dates of when they're going to be up. May 27th is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be a month until the second half that they're going to release on July 1st. So I think that's going to be their strange way of kind of not doing a weekly series.
Yeah.
And testing the waters with having 2 halves of a season at different times. I don't know exactly what they're trying to do. Seems Netflix is more so trying to experiment with different ways of releasing schedules than just the weekly or all at once type thing. And we kind of talked a bit about that last time. If you want to know more, our thoughts on the released all at once versus the weekly type thing. But
well, and it's definitely
interesting.
Yeah, and it's definitely a good thing to note though that like if you still haven't gotten into Stranger Things and you kind of want to be up to date on it, you should do it soon because they also did announce that like season 5 is. Like they're on season 4, but they have announced that like they've only planned for 5 seasons. So the end of this show's coming up quick. So if you're hoping to kind of be on that bandwagon before the end, so that you can like watch it with everybody else, you should do it soon because it's unfortunately coming to a close. But I'm also somebody though I would rather them finish a solid 5 seasons instead of try to like go for too many seasons and then it. Ruin the whole show. I didn't want to name any specific names.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. I will call, you know what? I will call out AMC for that because they went from Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy that were both like Breaking Bad was 5 seasons, Sons of Anarchy 6. And they were like, yeah, it's great. We stopped at the right time. And then for some reason, The Walking Dead, they're like, wow, let's just keep throwing money at it. And let's just keep writing for the sake of writing until we write it so far into the ground that we just finish it and not even have all the same viewers from when it first started. But
yeah, not even a coherent story all the way through.
Literally. But anyways, back to Stranger Things.
Yes, Stranger Things. So I actually didn't know this. I was confused because when people are talking about season 5 is going to be the last one, I'm like, but they announced that this is going to be the last season, so I'm confused. But I guess what they're doing is that Season 4 is what's released on May 27th, and Season 5 is the one that's going to be released on July 1st. Is that what I'm understanding now? Or am I just confused? Because I don't know if that's it, or if they're literally just saying they're splitting Season 4 in 2. Because I'm looking at here, it says Season 4 is going to be twice as long as any other previous season. That's why it's going to be split in 2. But then I'm also seeing here that Stranger Things showrunners have announced that season 5 will be the last season. So I'm actually kind of confused on that.
Let me take a look now. I don't. Okay, that's interesting. Oh,
Am I right in that
yeah.
assessment, or am I wrong?
Unfortunately, these two volumes will be the penultimate season for the Stranger Things series, and the show will end with season 5. So wait, what does that mean? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, cause like I don't
Um,
know if because they say they're splitting this season up. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, so season 4 is going to be in 2 parts. But then I'm seeing that this is going to be the last season. So I'm
yeah.
like, does that mean then season 4 is the first and season 5? Like that's
Um,
weird.
that is interesting. From what I'm understanding, no, it looks like season 4 is just gonna have a volume 1 and volume 2. But then I think season 5 is meant to come out at a different time. I think.
Okay, well,
I think.
irregardless,
Either way, very exciting. Yeah, we'll just focus on
it's
what we know right
exciting.
now.
It's gonna be a big year for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna give you our reviews on that. I'm sure Josh
Yeah.
is gonna watch it faster than me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch it though. I do enjoy Stranger Things as well, not as much as this guy.
I've watched
Just
it a
about-
lot.
Yeah, like I do enjoy it. So yeah, I'm excited to see where they're gonna go from here.
Well,
With the Soviets, or I guess it would be the Soviets because it's in the 80s, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
it'd be the Soviet Union.
I mean, spoilers if you haven't watched season 3, but I guess all we kind of know,
my
right?
bad.
No, that's okay. Just to kind of update, right? So if you've watched Stranger Things, right, you know, we remember where we're coming from, where Officer Hopkins was supposed to be like dead, or did I even say his name right? I can't remember the name right now, so that's a little concerning. Here, we'll pull up on IMDb to make sure that I'm getting this right. Either way, we know David Harbour, his character, the one that we all love, supposedly dies, and then he ends up in Russia. Right, that was kind of revealed in one of the like earlier trailers, and then we also have it where Will's moving away and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting because like it kind of starts to show like, you know, the group starts to grow up and grow apart. So I'm not sure how they're gonna bring everybody back, like what the storyline's gonna be to have everyone come back together. I'm really curious on how like the kids are gonna find out that like, you know, sorry, Hopper. How like I'm curious to know how they're gonna find out that he's in Russia, because like that's just so far off the beaten path for them. And again, they're kids, so they don't exactly have like the same resources as an adult to just like go to Russia, especially during, because like you said, it's Soviet Russia, so it's probably gonna be during the Cold War, so that's not like a very easy thing to do. So
Yep.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do all that. So
When did season 3 come out? That was a few years ago now.
Yeah, and a big part of it was because of COVID. Yeah, obviously. But I
Was it in
think
2019? I want to say
would've been-
2019 was.
I think 2019's, yeah, July 2019 was, yeah. So we haven't seen this show for 3 years. I think I've argued this. So I think the Dufferin brothers did themselves some justice with how they kind of set up their fans to be more patient, because if everyone remembers, they took a hiatus between season 2 and 3. Or was it between? It was between season 2 and 3. They took a year off because they wanted to make, because they said, you know, as writers, we want to take the time to properly, you know, continue the story and not like rush things. So we're taking the year off from releasing anything, making sure that we have like our story, you know, correctly laid out, and then we'll come back to it. So yeah, I think they've created some very patient fans because of that. So I think a lot of people are just anticipating its return. So it should be good. But yeah, I guess, Nick, we'll take a look at the posters now.
Yeah.
We'll see what's going on. I guess we'll go full screen.
I'm interested to see what you think of this one. So this one is, I think it's 11 looking down this.
Yeah.
She's looking down this hallway that's like, there's a fire in the distance.
Yeah, and like a bloodied hallway. if that.
Yeah. Very cryptic hallway.
I think like I think the one thing though is like that almost looks like it's another portal to the Upside Down again, which again they thought that they closed that off with Russia, like with the Soviets and Hawkins. So obviously the the portal or the nether to the Upside Down is still very real. Yeah, I don't know, like that's a very cryptic looking thing. I mean, it's
to the nether, portal to the nether.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna have gas
the
there.
No, but I mean, like the thing that
zombie pigmen.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? That'd be kind of funny if it's just all the creepers from Minecraft.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm excited about though is like I don't know. It's a very Stranger Things poster. It's got blood, it's got mystery, and then it's got 11.
It's got blood. I like it. It's got blood. I gotta say, this next poster looks sick.
Oh, okay. So
every ending. Wait. Let me get my narrator voice. Every ending has a beginning.
Yeah. So that's also okay. So that is on the first poster too. Okay, so that's an interesting.
It's just more noticeable in this poster. I find.
I don't know how to comment on that. You know, typical Dufferin speaking in riddles, I guess. Dufferin brothers speaking in riddles, I guess, to confuse you.
That's it's a good quote. I can't remember who actually first said it, but I want to say this looks almost like maybe it could be the Upside Down in Siberia.
Maybe.
That, or I'm thinking it's like it looks like maybe like an abandoned gulag in Siberia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we find Hopper right in prison, like in a Russian prison somewhere, probably Siberia. So yeah, that's either the Upside Down, or it could just be real, or that could just be like the regular world. But again, like they have the portal again. I was gonna say though, like the characters with him,
sick shot.
It is a really nice shot though. I actually do just like that. I just like that poster in general. That's actually really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, I'm just looking at like obviously like you have, Hopper in the middle, but I think I'm trying to figure out if those are new characters or if that's like.
You sure that's Hopper?
Yeah, because like in the one trailer, like when they reveal that he's alive still, his head is shaven, so like I think that's him in the middle. And then those are either new characters, or I'm thinking it's either Joyce, so like Will's mom, on the left, and then like the crazy, I always forget his name. Oh, Murray Bauman, like the crazy conspiracy scientist, is on the right, maybe. I don't know.
I'll have to see.
Yeah. So
I gotta say, what do you think of like those like shadows on the wall, like on the other side of the fire? Do they think they mean anything?
Yeah, I noticed that.
It looks like something cryptic or something.
Yeah. I don't even know. That could just be like the creatures again. That could be a whole number of things. Because like again,
it could just be a symbolism too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because again, at the end of season 3 too, right? They also showed that like they had the demodogs in Russia. So yeah, I don't know.
Did they? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, they kind of teased it. They throw a guy into like a kind of like a fight ring in the prison, and then like they have like a demodog come out, I think, if I remember that correctly, or they teased it. So
I have to rewatch it then.
Yeah,
because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
This next one I think has a really cool shot too.
Yeah. So
you got. Something I'm noticing is a common trend is they're like walking towards like fire, and it's like the fire is the only thing that's lighting up the room, which creates like a eerie setting.
But again, I
think it really sets it. And what I like about this one is it's like they're walking towards this like clock.
Yeah.
Which I wonder what that could symbolize.
Well, and the thing that I've noticed too is that like it's all. I'm pretty sure like that fire is supposed to be the portal, so I don't know if it's like the idea that like it's gonna show how like you can, like, I'm not sure if they're trying to show like how the Upside Down's been there globally the whole time without anybody knowing. What I found interesting though with like all the characters is that all the characters only show up in one of the posters. So like 11's by herself in the first one, then you have 3 in the second one, And then in this last one, it looks like you have like all the other kids involved, right?
There's still one more.
Oh, there is one more
still
because
one
I don't see Mike.
Yeah.
I don't see Mike and Will in this one.
Yeah.
So
there's one more.
But that's interesting how they've kind of done that. Like it's.
Yeah.
I feel like
I wonder if this is symbolizing that because of the clock there that they have limited time.
Maybe.
There's there's a limited time.
Yeah.
Or like the fire symbolizes like the destruction of the world, or like you said, it's just the portal.
Yeah.
That they have a limited time that they can go in the portal and save the world or something like that. But what's also caught my eye on this, which I don't know if you think this is symbolism or I'm just overthinking this, is the horse. What do you call it? Like the horse riding stick thing.
Yeah.
On the left there.
Yeah.
It just looks creepy, and it looks like it's one of the... I'm gonna be honest, like that's one of the first things I noticed in that poster.
Interesting.
Like, was that horse. Like it just stood out for me. So I wonder if do you think that means anything?
I didn't really notice it.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe just me.
Yeah, but it's funny that like it's funny what draws you to different posters and stuff. Because like I mean what I'm noticing too, and I mean like this is obvious, like I'm excited to see like it's been fun to watch the young cast grow up, right? Because like they all started off as like kids, right? And so like now they're all like kind of like teenagers now, like
young adults.
Yeah, some of the actors now like just hit 18 and stuff. So, but it's exciting to see that like obviously they're gonna have like all the original cast back. I'm wondering though, I feel like maybe Stranger Things season 4 made the reason they have to do 2 parts, or the reason it's so big, is I wonder if it's going to kind of be like an Infinity War kind of feel where like they have multiple storylines that they have to, like, I wonder if like this is their way of kind of showing how like the different groups are going to be on like embarking on different journeys that eventually kind of collide into one. Yeah, come back together kind of thing. So
I think you're onto something because that sounds right. Like I think this could also symbolize they're all heading to the portal and they're going to be meeting there.
Yeah,
like these are I'm not saying these are going to be the actual different groups there's going to be that we're going to follow, but it's a good representation of what could be and what you're saying.
Anyways,
like this last poster I think looks pretty damn cool too.
Oh, who's in this one? Because like I recognize characters? Well, yeah, I was gonna say I recognize Mike and Will, but like I don't know who those other two would be. Because like,
correct me if I'm wrong, the town they lived in
like
was
Hawkins.
Like in northeast US, right?
Yeah, it's Hawkins. So
which state is that?
I don't remember which state it is.
But it's not anywhere that has palm trees, right? The fact that there's palm trees here.
Yeah, but again, like I do know that like I think it's Will's the one that ends up moving. So I think like I wonder if it's like Mike goes down to visit at some point and then like things start to happen and then he's just caught down there with him. But yeah, I don't recognize those other two characters right now. Because it can't be his sister. And now the crazy thing is I'm wondering if that wouldn't be, I mean I'd be a little confused as to why he'd be back, but like that almost looks like Mad Max's brother on the right side. But the thing is he technically dies, so I'm like, how would that be him again? But that's like the only guy that like I can kind of put him on.
Could be a new character too.
No, yeah, it could be a new character, but I mean, like, if that is him, I'd be kind of surprised. I'd be like, how did he come back? But
I just want to say with the van on the right looks like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo
van.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering.
First pizza.
I'm always curious to see what the theme is going to be because, like, if you've watched the shows, they've had like, it's cool how they've had like 80s, like 70s and 80s themes for all of them. Like the first one was D&D, kind of, right? Because like they were playing it. That's how they name most of this stuff. Then like season 2 was more like Halloween and Ghostbusters, And then like season 3 was kind of more like that like 80s summer movie about like heartbreak, and then like the one guy looks like the Terminator, so I'm not really sure what they're going for yet with this style.
Scooby-Doo.
Honestly, I could see that because like, you know, the teenagers in the house in the one poster, right? Yeah. Could be cool.
This could also be taken in the 90s because it's a time skip, right? Too.
Yeah. It could be. I don't know, but
so this could be after the collapse of the Soviet Union, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah,
so that's just the historian in me talking. That's probably not going to be too relevant to this, but yeah.
Well, I don't know, because like the thing is, they've always done a good job though of kind of like keeping relevant like history timelines in this show, which is kind of cool. So yeah, either way, I'm just excited because it's been some time since we've seen the gang. It'll be great to kind of, and I mean, I feel like this is just like a thing for fans. Obviously, I think the reason they're doing season 4 in 2 parts is, like they said, they're making it twice as long kind of thing. They're probably just doing it because, like, you know, fans have been like itching for more of it. So I think they just want to give the fans something extra for like the return of Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
So,
and as long as it doesn't feel like any of the episodes feel like super unnecessary or dragged too long or whatever, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I agree. That's something I do always like to watch out for, is that like if you're extending your season, like, again, good storytelling is don't extend it if you don't have to, kind of thing. So
or don't be like Game of Thrones and shorten it when you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'll be exciting.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
like these posters look really well done.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always excited for this show just because like I've watched it since like day one. I got my dad into it. That was kind of funny because like when we sat down and made the plan to watch it together, he's like, "Yeah, we'll watch like every Thursday, and we'll watch it once a week, and we'll probably only get to watch a couple episodes." And I'm looking at him like, "Sure, that's how it's gonna go." And then it turned into like we ended up finishing it in 3 weeks because every time we were like at home by ourselves, we just look at each other and be like, "We gotta watch Stranger Things." So now my dad's like into it. He's super psyched for it too. So yeah, it was pretty funny. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely be talking about it on here when it starts airing later down. Speaking of Netflix,
yes,
another thing is, are the Marvel shows actually leaving Netflix? Well, it seems to be the case.
Yep.
Which is sad. I still think we have no idea where they're going.
They're probably going to
right
Disney
now.
Plus.
But I think it's a pretty good guess that they're going to go to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how that works because I thought Netflix owned them fully, but now it seems like maybe Netflix had a temporary contract with them where like they had them for so many years, and then that contract ran out, and then Disney just wants them back so that they can then put Daredevil and everything else into the MCU.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm wondering
without spoiling anything.
Yeah. What I'm wondering though is I feel like they'll still have to buy it out from Netflix to some capacity, because like even though Marvel belongs to somebody else, they use Marvel to create their own like TV content. So I still think like there's gonna have to be some kind of like trades of rights because it is like a Netflix original. But yeah, I think that'll be the first, if that happens, that'll be the first time in the era of streaming that we've seen a streaming original get bought out by another streaming service now, which would be, it's not huge news, but it's definitely interesting news because like that would be the first time that you see that happening with the streaming services. So it's worth knowing.
I really do hope it's on Disney Plus. I mean, that's like the best guess. Because I'm still in the. I haven't watched Daredevil in a while, but I definitely want to pick it up again because that show's really good.
You should finish it.
Yeah, and I want to finish it. I just finished season 2, so I want to start season 3, which I've heard a lot of good things about. Yep. My roommate told me that don't bother watching what do you call with the one with all the Netflix guys together?
Oh, the Defenders. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, he told me don't even bother watching. He'll just tell me the important stuff for Daredevil season 3, so
Yeah.
I'm not confused. I also wanted to watch season 1 of Jessica Jones, and I wanted to watch Daredevil. I'm really hoping they're on Disney Plus because I do have Disney Plus as
Wait,
well.
you said Daredevil again, or were you talking about a different one? You said Jessica
sorry.
Jones.
I meant okay. I want to watch Daredevil. I want to watch Jessica Jones, and I want to watch The Punisher. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah, one recommendation I would make for you with Luke Cage, I'd say, I mean, I watched season 2 because I loved Luke Cage, but like if I'd say at least watch the first season of Luke Cage because that one was actually like a lot of people watched the first season and didn't enjoy the second one, but it's pretty reputable. But I'd put that on like the lower end of the list, I think, to watch.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I'll have to do it when I when I get to that. I do I'd love to watch all that. So Disney Plus seems like most credible. I guess we'll find out in probably by next podcast, the time we record it.
Yeah.
We would know that if it's on Disney Plus or not.
I don't know if it'll land on Disney Plus right away, but like it's just like I feel like that's the only reason it would leave Netflix. Like Netflix wouldn't just take it down unless they had a deal for it because like all those shows have made them decent revenue. Like even Luke Cage, that's like the weakest of them. Well, actually Iron Fist isn't great, but like all the other ones, like they've been watched enough that like obviously they're money makers. So like I don't think Netflix would just like take them down without some kind of motive in place. And then you have
we'll have to see.
Yeah. And then again you have Disney right now trying to like expand the MCU, so yeah, it's kind of lining up, so we'll see.
We'll see with that. And to other show news, we have I'll get into this first. They announced a D&D live action show.
Now, I'll ask you. So, are they taking the idea of it's actually like about people like they're gonna do like some words like people role playing and them developing the story around like characters role playing, or is it just straight fantasy kind of thing? If that makes sense.
I think it's gonna be about the actual D&D lore.
Okay.
Itself.
I mean, both ways would have been kind of cool. It'd be cool, if they had characters that like it's characters playing the game, and as they play, it's like the story comes to life in different scenes and stuff. But I mean, D&D has so much lore, so they're not going to be like short for content there, I would think.
So the wiki for it says that it's a upcoming American fantasy adventure film.
Okay.
Directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly.
I'm not familiar with their work.
The film stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh.
Justice Smith.
Wait, Justice Smith, isn't that one of Will Smith's kids?
Yeah.
Wait.
Dang.
Okay.
It's a joint venture production between Entertainment One and Sweet Pea Entertainment.
Okay.
And has a release date of March 3rd by Paramount Pictures.
Like this year or 2023?
March 3, 20. Yeah, 2023.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was like, oh my god, how do we not know about this sooner, Nick?
Yeah. I did not know those guys were in it. That's a pretty way more crazy cast than I was expecting. I'm still indifferent on it because, like, Dungeons and Dragons, the thing about it is that's hard to make a movie out of it.
Wait, so are they making a movie or a TV show?
Movie.
Oof. Okay, that's a little concerning. See,
I think even making a TV show or a movie is just hard because the thing about D&D is it's whatever you want.
It's endless possibilities. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like my D&D world is totally different than the traditional. Like my D&D world is like steampunk, guns. You have like rifles.
Yeah.
Like in the recent D&D, which I did today, is my players were met with mechs and flamethrowers and all that stuff. Where then you have like my D&D is more like closer to like World War One weapon technology, and then you have like traditional D&D, which is like high fantasy, right?
Yeah.
But like the thing is, it could be whatever you want, and there's like so much different lore out there, so they could play with it. Again, the hard part is then, what do they do? And the other thing is, what did they do with it? And then I lost my train of thought. Tired Nicholas, just poof, God.
No, I think, but honestly, I think that's what you really need to say. You kind of hit the nail on the head, right? Like, again, don't get me wrong, having tons of lore is fantastic, right? Because like then that means the possibilities are endless. You know, you have a lot to pick from. But the downfall of it is you have so much lore, so many options, so much to pick from that it's like what do you take and what do you leave, right? And like you said, because so many D&D sessions and characters and stories and styles are different, that's going to be a tough audience to create a movie for, when again, like we've said, the possibilities are endless, right? So there might be some guys that are like, oh, I love that because that's like the campaign we ran, and then somebody else could be like, that's so inaccurate to my like experience with D&D. That's nothing like it. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. I don't know, but that's why I kind of wish that they were making it like a TV show at least, so then they could like expand on a longer storyline, right? Kind of closer to like Game of Thrones, where they pick kind of like their own characters, pick a storyline, and then kind of run with it. But how do you also make it stand out as like D&D and not just be another like generic fantasy TV show?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Before I lost my train of thought, I was gonna say, like, how do you stand out in the fantasy genre? Which I think it's gonna have a real difficulty time. Because the thing is, D&D works really well as an RPG or even a video game.
Yeah.
But I don't think the base premise works as good in movie type setting. I guess, as we're talking about this though, then there's the Vox Machina TV show that was released. It is D&D specifically.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it myself because I don't have Amazon Prime, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Sorry, what's it called?
So Vox Machina, it's about the Critical Role's first D&D campaign. It's on Amazon
that's kind of
Prime.
cool. Okay.
I've heard really, really good things about it. So D&D can be done right, but then the thing is they were specific in how they differentiated it. Is this is Matt Mercer's world of Exandria.
Okay.
That happens to be, they play D&D to use it.
Okay.
So I guess you could say, yes, it is like a D&D film, but it's not about the D&D lore. It's about Matt Mercer's world lore.
Okay.
Versus like if there was a Cascadia movie, which is the name of my world, they would be that we play D&D with. Like if they made a movie of that, then it would be a Cascadia movie that we just happen to play D&D of. Right?
Oh, I see what
this
you mean.
is actually D&D itself.
Right.
Which that's going to be harder to differentiate.
I just gotta have a eureka moment. It's really too bad that's not a TV show, because, and the reason I say is like the more I thought about it, right? Like I thought it would have been cool if they found a way to incorporate characters playing the story, and then like, you know, the story kind of like comes to life, and then you watch them playing the actual, like, you know what I mean? Like it cuts from them to like the actual scene that they're painting. If it would have been a TV show, they could have done something like Black Mirror, where like it's just an anthology of episodes. So it's like, it's not necessarily like one continuing storyline. It could just be like different one shots, because then that's how you capture the diversity and kind of like the range of like difference in, you know, campaigns, right? Because I've done ones where like it's more sci-fi. I did one where it was meant to be more like Fallout. I've done yours where it's Cascadia. I've done other ones where it's supposed to be a little bit more, you know, closer to like, I guess like the fantasy Middle Earth kind of feel, where it's dragons and dungeons.
Yeah.
So I thought that that could have been more cool.
It'll be interesting.
But
yeah, I think I agree. I think a TV show would be better.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, then you could have like actual. Yeah, you could like. I think that's how you would do D&D best. Is, have you seen Merlin? the show?
No.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to, dude. That's a
good
really
one.
good show. But I was thinking it's something like that because Merlin's kind of like that,
Yeah.
where it's like kind of like you don't have I guess kind of have an overall arc and story,
Right.
in a way, but the whole show is made up of these like one episode. Like there's a story each episode, and it concludes in that episode, and the next episode you have like the same characters, but then it's like another one-off story. But there's growth throughout the whole story. And just the relationships are really good, and you see the growth of like the main character's Merlin, and about Merlin and King Arthur's friendship of it.
Okay.
And just see that their friendship grow. Like they have, arguably, I think one of the best like brotherhood relationships I've ever seen on screen. Like it's phenomenal how good it is, and like you could do something like that where you have kind of like an overarching story in a way, but like it's like these little one-off things. Like most traditional D&D is like you have like this small quest that you complete that, and then you go on like another small quest, you complete that, and so on and so forth. And these small quests get bigger in scope to the point where later down the road maybe it's multiple episodes and you have to defeat Tiamat or whoever is going to be the final boss.
Well, and the other way that I thought about it too is like the reason that you could do an anthology, right, is because then what you could do, you can maybe even have like one storyline go over a couple episodes, but then the cool thing is you cut it more as like different one-shot stories. So like say for example, if you want to keep them connected, maybe it's the same group of kids that plays D&D each time, but then they play a new session, so then you see them like as different characters. So like again, maybe the ones about them actually fighting dragons and going into dungeons, but then the next one's about like an outer space session that they're doing kind of thing. And that could be cool too, because then, you could have like the same core player characters, but then it's like you get to see them dressed up as like different characters, or like just even have like the same have like a kind of have like kind of like an avatar for them, but then have that avatar play like almost like their character in each one. So then like you kind of see the consistency. So then you kind of get the idea that it's like this. Yeah. I don't know. All of a sudden now I'm like, apparently I'm a show creator now. I'm just like
Dungeons and Dragons. Like if they're going to make this, I think it would work best as a comedy. Like I don't think you could make a D&D and take it like super serious, like Lord of the Rings or something like that. You just can't, right? It has to be more, has to be more fun, I think.
All the best sessions I've been in are ones where like, I'm going to be honest, like when you're a kid, when you first start D&D, yes, it is about like the adventure, the questing, like making gold, fighting monsters. But like as I got older, it became so much less combat intensive and literally just like running around and just for the sake of like horsing around and seeing if you could almost like break the campaign and just do like really stupid, unnecessary things.
It depends. Like everyone's different. Like for most my campaign, it's heavily role playing. Is what we do. And right now it's more of like a dark arc. So there's still funny. There's still a lot of funny moments every session, but we're in a more dark place. So there's been a lot of more heavier themes and stuff like that right now. But so it depends. It depends what you want.
Well, that's what I mean though, is that I think when I first started D&D, I was more focused on the combat part of it. But then as you get used to it, it's more excited to just play the role playing part of it. Because I've been in Nick's
I agree.
I was in Nick's campaign as probably like the most like not like annoying, but like he was definitely like the character that like caused the most like havoc for no reason. And
involvement, which is another character.
But the thing that I've liked about campaigns like Nick's is that like it's not like it's story driven, so like it's funny and fun sometimes, but then there's like serious moments. So again, like I think with a TV show they would
mix.
Yeah, so I think with a TV show they could have better captured that, because maybe one episode is a little bit more like of a comedy one where like it's just like a stupid one, and then the next one could be like super serious or something. So, but
I think just having a good honest mix is key with that. But we'll see. We'll see when the trailer comes out. That's a bigger cast than higher star
Yeah.
cast than I was expecting. So, and then the other movie I'm going to talk about is the Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Well, really quick on D&D before we finish. Yeah, I don't want to. I just want to say I don't want to shout down the movie yet because obviously we don't know everything about it yet, so I don't want to say it's going to be bad from the get-go. So I'm sure we'll definitely kind of stay up on the news on that kind of as it develops because I've enjoyed playing D&D. Nick's done the same. I'm sure there's a lot of people that enjoy it, so it'll be cool. Yeah. Anyways,
it'll be
Oppenheimer.
interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
So Oppenheimer. It's a more historic film directed by Christopher Nolan. Has a pretty all-star cast. That was just announced a few weeks ago.
Is there? I don't think there's a trailer for it yet, though. It doesn't come out till next year.
Yeah, there's no trailer out for it yet. But yeah, it comes out July 21st, 2023.
Yep.
But it looks pretty good. I mean, what caught my eye immediately is it had Robert Downey Jr. and Emily Blunt, which I love those two actors. So
I mean, that's just like that just like scratches the surface though of this casting because you have Cillian Murphy, who's been in stuff like Peaky Blinders, Florence, I hope I'm saying her last name right, I think it's Pooh or Poof, who's played Yelena from like Black Widow. Yeah, you look down here and
Emily Blunt, Matt Damon,
Robert
Downey Jr.
Rami
Malek.
Rami Malek. If you've watched The Boys, there's Jack Quaid, Dane DeHaan. I've seen him in a few things, so they. But I mean, it's got to be easy though to have a cast like that for a movie like this, especially when you find out it's a Christopher Nolan movie, because I love Christopher Nolan. That dude's been like in the zone ever since he made Inception, kind of thing. Like,
he's made some phenomenal, phenomenal movies for sure.
Yeah, like I gotta echo. Oh no, I was just gonna say I gotta echo what Nick was saying. Like he's easily one of the directors I look up to. He's done phenomenal work. I mean, if you don't believe me, you can look at his resume. His resume speaks for itself. Like, the biggest thing is like he's just amazing at the cinematography part of it. Like just the way that he edits and shoots his movies is absolutely unreal. Like, and he's done some of like those more complicated like concepts like Inception to me. I was like, I don't even know how you came up with
Inception's a phenomenal movie.
Well, and he wrote that too, and I'm like, I mean, he wrote and directed it, and so I've always wondered, I'm like, how did you come up with a movie like that?
It's amazing.
Like
and like it'll be fascinating with Oppenheimer to see what they do with it because he's the father of the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
So it's again the historian in me is gonna be paying close attention. I don't expect 100% historic accuracy here, but I'm just fascinated because I really enjoyed Dunkirk. Again, that wasn't 100% accurate either, but I still really enjoyed it. So it'll be really interesting to see how they do all that. I wonder if they're gonna have any like of the KGB spies in there, and like anything about the tail end of World War II and all that stuff. So
I was gonna say, do you want to give like a brief kind of like history, like if you have to give like a history lesson on this in like 2 minutes or less, what's the best way to
about Oppenheimer?
Yeah, what
is
Oppenheimer?
So Oppenheimer is called the father of the atomic bomb, and he's the one that had the famous sentence of "I am death, destroyer of worlds." That was him that said that.
Okay.
And he was basically one of the head scientists for the United States in creating the atomic bomb that they later dropped. It was Fat Man, and for some reason I can't remember.
Was it Little Boy? It was Little Boy and Fat Man.
It was Little Boy, Little Boy and Fat Man that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan that ended World War II, and then started the atomic age.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the basis of it, and it'll be interesting to see him invent it and then kind of play with the emotions of inventing arguably the most destructive weapon that we've ever seen
known to mankind,
that humanity's ever had, to the point where we can literally destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see if it'd just be interesting to see what they do historically right.
Yeah, like
with that.
I'm excited for it.
I'm too. Like I would be fascinated if they skipped a few years too, and they actually did Oppenheimer's reaction to when the Soviets managed to detonate the atomic bomb.
Right.
Because the Soviets were the second country in the world to obtain and get nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
So it'll be fascinating to just see all that.
Yeah. I'm always a fan of like the World War I, World War II kind of movies. So the thing that I'm excited about is that like it is related, but I like that it's not necessarily a combat movie. It's about like the other aspects of World War II, and I'm excited to see like kind of. I feel like this movie's gonna have a lot of drama with like the fact that like they'll probably dive into like, I'm sure there's like controversies among people as they're developing this science and stuff like that. To this day, there's still controversy, right, about like whether or not that those were the correct actions to take in World War II. Obviously, that's like a whole debate, but so I think it'll be. I'm excited to see this because like it's, because like it, like I'd say like that's probably like one of the like biggest points of World War II that's still highly discussed is, the dropping of the nuclear bombs in Japan that then led to this nuclear race afterwards, right? And then like that's what had a big effect on the Cold War, right? Because now, it rolled out into like a very, very like long timeline into even current day where we still have nuclear weapons as part of kind of like the world, just like on the global scale that it is now. So I think it'll be cool. I think like the fact that they also have like Cillian Murphy playing Oppenheimer is interesting because like he's actually a really good actor, but again, he doesn't do like a lot of mainstream stuff. Again, I know he plays in Peaky Blinders, but anything that I've seen him in, he's a great actor with like a lot of really good depth. So
I agree. Yeah. No, I'm very optimistic about this.
Yeah.
And it'll be fascinating to see how they handle this.
Yeah. And kind of like a sideline thing, this will probably be like the first big movie that Robert Downey Jr. makes a splash with since being Iron Man. It's funny that he's going to be probably another scientist again. Not a billionaire philanthropist, but
true. But anyways. I'm really hyped about that. So we have that, and then segueing into Spider-Man real quick. So I got some Spider-Man news. So, so first is Spider-Man No Way Home becomes the third highest grossing movie of all time.
That's not surprising. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that's not surprising. It sounds kind of cocky.
So it passed Avatar, the Blue People Avatar, to become the third highest.
Yeah.
Which I'm more than okay with. What? So then what, the other two must be Infinity War and Endgame, right? Yeah, I know Endgame's one.
I mean, we could probably look it up right now. What would be
number two?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure because like I know Fast and Furious was up there at one point, but I feel like both Infinity War and Endgame might have. Like I'm pretty sure Marvel's taking the top 3 spots now. So highest grossing movies of all time.
That list is. It's telling me Avatar's still one, but that's not true.
Time. All right. Well, I mean, that's exciting.
I wonder. This is confusing me because like I saw multiple sources that said it was the third highest grossing, but maybe I'm lying because now everywhere's telling me it's not.
Well, see, it depends on like where you look. Okay, that's interesting. Does it beat? How does it beat Avatar though? At domestic box offices. So I think that means like in America. It was
domestic. Yeah, it was in America, not worldwide. Okay, I'm glad we clarified that. So it was the top It became the third highest grossing movie domestically in North America, so that's Canada and the US. Of all time, surpassing Avatar, but it did not surpass internationally.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it hasn't.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Avatar.
I mean, to be fair, No Way Home had a lot more working against it with COVID and stuff, so I feel like that might be why the numbers are skewed. Because, again, like there's like a lot to deal with this year, right? Because like they comes out, people saw it for a couple weeks, then it got locked down again, and now it's back. It's still technically in theaters, I think, because they wanted to like extend its release time. But
I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Adding to that is there's nothing official, but there's rumors, at least at this time. Maybe there would be a definitive answer by the time this podcast is out. But at the time of recording, anyway, there's rumors that in, I think, May, they are planning on re-releasing Spider-Man No Way Home, but an extended edition.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I would see
rumors.
That. Yeah. Well,
right now.
I mean, either way, even if it doesn't come out in theaters, we're always going to get like an extended cut. Like when you get stuff on Blu-ray now and stuff, right? You can get like, they'll give you like the extended edition, but that'd be kind of cool for sure. Because like, I think, I don't know. I think there'd be lots for them to kind of do with that. There's been so many rumors soaring ever since No Way Home came out. Because now people are wondering, because now that Venom's technically a part of Sony, and like again, spoilers, like, you know, either way, Venom's a part of Sony right now. They're wondering if this is going to be like, if there's going to potentially be an Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield and Venom. Then there's also like fan theories or rumors that there could be another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire now that they've kind of revamped them. I don't know. It's a lot of mystery around that.
There's a lot of mystery on it. But I've heard multiple sources say that, so I thought I'd just mention it.
Yeah.
It would be cool. We'll see if it actually happens. So they could do it. I think the more logical is they make an extended edition, but then they release it on like Blu-ray or whatever. But the rumors I've been seeing is that they're going to re-release it in theaters because it's been doing so well.
Oh, I would totally go see that.
We'll see.
Theaters. Yeah,
I probably would too because that movie was fantastic.
But I'm also, and even more on Spider-Man news, it should be exciting because we saw the latest trailer for the new Miles Morales animated Spider-Man. I think it's called, what's the new one called? It's called, it's like another Into the Spider-Verse thing. What's it called? Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. Oh my goodness, what's it called? Here, let me look it up. Anyways, I'm excited to see that because they teased that like Spider-Man 2099 is going to be in it. Obviously Gwen's coming back into it, Miles Morales. Why can't I find the name of this movie? Spider-Verse 2. Sorry, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's kind of like the other big thing right now is that they've released a new trailer for that.
I've heard a lot of rumors about that one too.
No, I got super excited because they introduced...
I'm excited about that.
I think it's going to be... I'm wondering if it's going to be time travel because, again, we see Spider-Man 2099 or whatever, so we'll see with that. There's just... I mean, there's always rumors because... But, I mean, like, you know... Even without the rumors, there's a lot going for Spider-Man, right? They have Morbius coming out that's like confirmed to be part of like the universe somehow because Vulture's in it. So I think we just gotta like. It's great to like have theories as fans, but I think we also have to just trust that like the studios know what they're doing now. It seems like Sony has been put on the right path by Disney after a little bit of a gong show with the Amazing Spider-Man series, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So speaking of all these commercials, the event that caused all these commercials, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I'm not big into American football myself, but
Yeah.
Josh here can give you his little 2 cents because you watched it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it quickly. The game itself was really good. It was a good matchup because we saw quarterback Matthew Stafford, who played for a very crappy Detroit Lions team, finally play. It's funny. So, quick backstory: Matthew Stafford got traded to the Rams at the beginning of this season after playing for such a crap team. Goes out and wins Super Bowl with like his next team. So everyone's like, yeah, it's funny. Everyone thought Stafford sucked for so long, but he actually wins the Super Bowl with a viable team. It was kind of cool watching this too because he also had like a younger quarterback, Joe Burrow. It was like his second year. It was kind of funny to watch Joe Burrow because like Buddy was like, you could tell this kid like it's his second year of football because like literally when they make the playoffs, like I might put the photos into the edit, but like the way this guy was like strutting around, he was like on cloud nine. Like Buddy's out there, he had like some chain on at some point with like sunglasses and like a suit, like walking around like Superman.
Oh my gosh.
I give him respect for it. Like it's not that he was coming across like super douchey, but you could just tell like he was kind of living the high life kind of thing. So
yeah.
So yeah, it was a good football game. I think the other notable thing to kind of talk about was the halftime show and how decent it was, like how good it was this year, because we saw the return of Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. Apparently it was like the first time that they did a hip hop halftime show. So like a lot of people saw it as like a great kind of, push forward for diversity in that. It was kind of funny though, because like younger kids this year were like, oh, like I don't know any of these people. Meanwhile, older parents were like in the back, like, like rap gods. Because even
Wait, you're just saying the kids don't know Eminem?
Well, I'm like some younger kids, right? They might not be as familiar with him as us, right? Because like,
wow, I feel old now.
I know. But like that's kind of the funny thing is that there's jokes about that where it's like kids watching halftime show this year are gonna be embarrassed because their dad's gonna be in the back like like well because they're all old, right? Like not old, right? But you have like Dr. Dre who's with NWA at one point and then went on to make beats and stuff, more musical production. Snoop Dogg who has been around forever. And then you had Eminem, and then even 50 Cent shows up. So again, like for people our age, we're like, oh, this is great. And meanwhile, there's some kids that are like, who's that guy hanging upside down from the ceiling? That was the funny part. So that's the most memorable part was like 50 Cent. His entrance was he replicated his music video where he starts upside down. So like Buddy's like literally like hanging from the ceiling of this one piece of the set. I was like, yeah, that's ballsy, man. So, but yeah, that was probably the cool part of the show is that it was actually a great halftime show with some legends of music, I guess. So yeah, overall it was a fun weekend, but yeah, like Nick's probably more like the trailers were really cool that came from it. So yeah,
that's all I care about. But
yeah,
and other sports stuff, the Olympics have been going on as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been keeping up much with the Olympics. Like here's the thing, just with how the world is right now, I haven't been hearing much of it.
Yeah,
we're in Canada, so we've been I'm sure if you know world events right now, especially if you're in Canada or the United States, you probably know what we're talking about. And there's two specific things kind of happen in the world right now, which we won't really get into, but that have kind of overshadowed it.
Yeah.
In terms of news that I've been getting. Yeah. And I'm personally into geopolitical stuff, so I've been paying more attention into the more geopolitical major issue we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
But then the Olympics. However, as of right now, at the time of recording, which is on Sunday, February 20th, 2022.
The games are technically over now, so like all the medal counts and stuff are official because they went till February 20th, so yesterday. So they would have just ended.
The 20th is today. Well, but I guess you have a time difference here, right?
Yeah. Well, basically they're wrapping up.
It's already over, damn.
Yeah. Canada.
We got 11th. That's rough.
Basically, we're supposed to be good at curling and hockey, And okay, actually, sorry. Before I say anything about hockey, our women's hockey team killed it this year. Unbelievable. And I feel like we don't talk about them enough because everybody's always focused on men's hockey, obviously, because it's widely more broadcasted for the professionals. But shout out to the women's team. They were literally like on fire this year. Like, unbelievable team that was put together. They absolutely like dominated they dominated. Like, I don't think anybody came close to beating them. Men's team definitely saw the hit with the NHL players not going at the last minute. I don't think we didn't even medal. Like, we lost in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
It was a rough one. I heard that like our curling wasn't as hot as it typically is. Typically we're like really good. We had a couple people kind of bottom out there.
Yeah, and in men's, my roommate really keeps up with curling.
I think the coolest story that I heard though was, I think one of our snowboarders who like basically like had a battle with cancer at some point. I'm pretty sure he won like gold or silver in like one of the snowboarding events. So like, I think that's a pretty cool story. So, yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't get a chance to really watch him too much this year, but you know,
I didn't watch much at all, unfortunately.
Well, and like you said, unfortunately, the news in Canada, like at least for Canada,
it's just
Canadian news.
Crap.
Yeah, it's been
a crap show.
It's been directed elsewhere. So unfortunately, they didn't focus too much on like the medal winners and stuff. But
no, like I haven't been seeing it. But just to say, no surprise that Norway won.
Yeah, Norway. 16
Norway always
medals.
kills it. Norway always kills it in the Winter Olympics. Yeah. And then Germany getting second. That's pretty pretty damn good for Germany. And then China getting third. I don't think that's too. China and the U.S. in third and fourth. That's not too big of a surprise. Sweden in fifth. Again, not too big of a surprise. I'm kind of surprised with Netherlands.
Yeah.
Being as high as they are in sixth, especially ahead of Austria and Switzerland.
And Russia.
Like Netherlands being ahead of Austria, Switzerland, Russia, France, and Canada, and even Japan, like kind of surprises me, honestly.
Yeah,
Finland being as low as they are, like.
Yeah.
Although I thought I heard, for some reason, I thought Finland always did really good in the Winter Olympics, but did I hear something that they got their first gold medal this year?
They could have.
Or was that a different country? Yeah. Maybe that was a different country.
Yeah.
I always thought Finland did really well in the Winter Olympics, but I who knows? I could just be ignorant.
But I mean, on a good note for Canada, like gold medals, we finished pretty low, but like in total medal count, I think we're like top 5, so that's pretty good. Like we didn't win a lot of gold.
Yeah, if I change my order by total medal count,
I think we're like third.
Fourth.
Oh, we're in fourth?
We're fourth.
Right.
We're fourth.
Which isn't bad.
Norway's still in first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then it's Russia. Yeah. And then Germany. And then us. We have one more medal than the United States, which, yes.
Haha. Suckers.
Screw you, Americans. No, I'm just kidding.
We love you guys. I'm sorry. It's a friendly rivalry, I promise.
And then it's Sweden and Austria. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't really follow them as closely as I do, because the Olympics, whether or not you're a sports fan, is always it's a coming together kind of event, right?
Yeah. I always watched.
Yeah. So I'll just have to make sure for the next time to make that more of a priority. And then maybe if we do, we can talk about it a little bit more, like not too intensely, obviously, because we're not sports, but we can, cover some of the highlight stories, because I think the reason it'd be cool to talk about, right, is that's where you get more of like the people stories, right? Like it's not necessarily just about how the athlete performs. They typically have some of these like athletes have the most amazing stories. Cause like, I think I was watching the one snowboarding event and we had like a girl there from Canada that was like 16. And all I'm thinking is she's doing this interview for like this news station. I'm like, don't you have like homework that you're supposed to be doing right now? Like, how are you? It's always amazing to me when I see those kids out there. I'm like, wow, you're like the best in your sport right now at your age. Like, that's incredible. So, yeah, I think that's something to think about.
Yep. Well, I might, I probably have to pay more attention. I mean, I don't really, as Canadians, we don't really care about the summer. I know most people, that tends to be the more focused one internationally, but Canada never does super well in the summer. But we usually care more about the winter.
Yeah.
Just
we have some notable athletes in the summer sometimes. I know we're good at like rowing. We actually have Andre DeGrasse, who actually did really well for running this year, which that is a bit of a shocker. We don't typically produce people for that. We're good at like a lot of like the lesser known sports. Like I think we're pretty good at like weightlifting sometimes, rowing, judo.
Irregardless, we're not known as a strength power in terms of summer. We're better in winter. We're like where you see Norway in like always in the top 3 in the winter. You'll never see them even like in the top 10. Usually in the summer,
I know what you
type
mean.
thing, right? So we're basically like Norway like that.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, man, I don't think we're going to talk about NFTs today because it's
not worth talking about.
It's getting late, and I didn't think this would go on this long. But
basically, Nick doesn't like NFTs.
We'll go on a rant in a different time about NFTs.
Yeah, but basically,
sorry for lying to you in our intro, but we'll talk about the Lord of the Rings and Jurassic World, and that's I think where we're going to end it.
Yeah. But yeah, all you need to know is Nick doesn't like NFTs. That'll be a preview. and I don't know anything about them, so.
Yeah, so basically, well, actually, quickly before we get to that, do you have any personal stuff you want to talk about over the last couple of weeks? Because I'm gonna tell you, for me, I haven't played much GeoGuessr. I've done some random Canada rounds, which was weird. I played some GeoGuessr yesterday, and I played Canada again, and 4 out of the 5 rounds I got were in Nunavut, which is our least populated territory in Canada. Yes. And yet I got 4 out of the 5 rounds there, so that was really weird. And it was all 4 rounds was just snow everywhere, and I'm like, well, okay, this is probably Nunavut. So that was a little weird. I haven't done much else in GeoGuessr. I've been mostly in my spare time, casually. I've been watching this YouTube. I've gone down this rabbit hole of like unsolved mysteries and other stuff like that on YouTube. I love that stuff. So I've just been going on a rabbit hole on YouTube with that right now. So I've been doing that, and then besides that, I've been doing a lot of D&D prep. We had a huge session today. It was like 7-hour session today that we had. And that's part of the reason I'm so tired right now. So yeah, we had that, and then I've also been doing a lot of work on my own world in terms of Cascadia. So that's been more of what I've been focusing on this last week in my spare time is that stuff, and less on the GeoGuessr. So I did play a little bit of GeoGuessr with my parents. It's a good bonding activity that we do. Nice. We don't play versus anymore because I kept kicking their butt. So we play it together.
Yeah.
I can tell you, my dad kicks my butt in the U.S. or Canada. He knows. Oh, yeah. My dad knows his roads like no tomorrow. Like he'll see the sign that says the name of this road, and he's like, I know exactly what city that is.
Seriously.
And I'm just like, how the heck do you know that? Or he'll see the sign of this company, and he's like, oh, that company is just in the Northwest Territories. And I'm like, what? But then when it comes to international stuff, I beat them.
Yeah.
At least that makes me feel good.
It's funny that you say that about your dad, though, because I swear I think that's a dad power that they just know stuff. Like, specifically with directions, like, locally, based on, like, landmarks. Because, like, and I'll make the story quick. Me and my friend Jared, we got stuck in the ditch in, like, snow the one time. And, because like we pulled over because we thought we were like lost for directions or whatever, and so we called the tow truck, and these local people like come by. So we were driving to Milton in Ontario, so it's kind of by Toronto, and we didn't know where we were. We're on some country road, and we're like, what do we tell them? And this couple's like, oh, like just tell them that like you're stuck in a ditch by the mushroom farm and like the mushroom farm. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, they'll know what you're talking about. I'm like, the mushroom farm. I'm like, that's such a generic thing. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd just be like, oh, yeah, you're stuck by a dairy farm. It's like, yeah, thanks. I know that. But, like, where does that put me on the map, right? Like, that could be anywhere.
Yeah.
call the tow truck, tell him where we are. Oh, okay, yeah, I know where you are. He drives out to us. So me and Jeb were convinced, and we're like, this must just be like a local thing, right? Like it's probably like that's probably the furthest we go.
Yeah.
A couple days later, I'm hanging out at his place again, and we kind of tell his dad the story, and he's like, "Wait, where did you guys say you were stuck again?" And we're like, "Oh, apparently they said we were stuck by like some mushroom farm." Is that like thing for a second? He's like, "Oh, I know exactly where you were," and we're like, and somebody turned around like, "Is this the most famous mushroom farm on the stretch of highway between Kitchener to Milton?" Because like everybody apparently knew about it. I've never heard of this place before.
You know, that sounds like my dad. That does.
Yeah. You should ask him, and if he's like, "Oh, the mushroom farm by Milton," yeah, I know that. I'll be convinced that like.
It's like my dad, who grew up in Grand Prairie, Alberta, his whole life, knows this mushroom farm.
Specifically, the mushroom farm by Milton.
You know, if my mom watches these, so mom, if you're watching this, you gotta show Dad this clip and see if he knows what we're talking about. This mushroom farm. What was it near? It was between Kitchener and Milton?
It had to be between Kitchener and Milton because we're going from Kitchener to Milton, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah. All right. We'll see about that. Yeah. Oh god, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, we nicknamed my dad the map man because he could always figure out where we are.
That's
and
impressive.
He can never get lost. So.
Yeah.
No, he's really good. But anyway, going back to, well, actually, I basically said everything I'm doing. What about you?
I guess the exciting thing is, and I'll probably snap some photos for the edit. My parents recently got a new puppy, so we have her name is Phoebe. She's a golden retriever, so my mom's.
Oh, I love golden retrievers.
Yes. A little bit more about us. So we also have another dog. Her name's Cuddles. She's like an old soul 13 Cocker Spaniel Shih Tzu. So she's also adjusting to having a puppy in the house. But yeah, my mom's always wanted a golden retriever, so they finally found some breeder that was giving them, selling them like they do. And yep, she's been home for, I guess at the time this podcast comes out, probably like 2-3 weeks, something like that. So yeah, so it's been busy at my parents' house. I've been visiting there a lot to like kind of hang out with the dogs, obviously.
That's adorable.
Oh yeah, and she's just loving
like
life.
if I get a dog, I want a golden retriever.
I can also keep you guys updated on how this is going. I've also got Jedi. I finally got the Star Wars The Fallen Order game on like a discount on the Sony store, so I'm working through that right now because I know Nick's also said it's a really good game. So I'll let you guys know how that's going as I kind of move through it. It's a lot of fun though. I can't believe I didn't play it more before. Like I've tried it, but like yeah, it's so much fun, and it's my favorite kind of like open world where it's not just everything at once. It's like you get it in stages, so you're not like overwhelmed, and it's directed enough that you kind of know where to go when you want to. So, oh yeah, it's been.
Yeah, the story of it's really good.
It's really good. So yeah, that's good. Those are kind of like the major things right now I can think of. Like we've been getting like a crap ton of snow again in Kitchener, so like just dealing with winter again in Canada. As always.
Yeah, so. we got a bunch of snow here, and it's been like -20 today. So
yeah.
Before that, we were like in +15 and that. So it's beautiful and sunny here. And then all of a sudden, this week comes, and it's just been blizzard and ugly and snow and cold.
Well, I feel like that's just like a Canadian thing for some reason. We're like, and it always happens like close to the end of February, early March, it goes up and down. It's either like really mild for 2 days, or it's like super cold with a bunch of snow. It's like winter doesn't want to leave. So
at least March is just around the corner, and that means nicer weather, and days are getting longer. So that's always a plus. I can't wait for spring and summer. Those are my 2 favorite months of the year.
Yeah, I love summer. It's a good time.
It is. It is up. At least it is up here.
But yeah, those are kind of like the major things I can think of right now, honestly.
Okay, well, let's go to Lord Nicholas's Lord of the Rings corner, because we always have to talk about Lord of the Rings every podcast, right?
Well, because it's developing,
is
right?
New? It does. What's new in the Lord of the Rings world? Well, first they announced, and this is not going to happen for years yet, but they announced, of all things, a Lord of the Rings anime. That's right. I did not misspeak. a Lord of the Rings anime.
So that means it's a
And
Japanese. Wow.
It is titled War of the Rohirrim.
Oh, okay.
And it's right now scheduled for April 2024.
Oh wow, so we still got some time before that.
Yes, but I'm intrigued. I like the Rohan.
Yeah.
I like the Rohirrim. They had one of the most badass scenes in Return of the King. So I am excited about that. What does that make you feel, Josh?
I'm just excited to see more Lord of the Rings. Like, again, obviously you know more about the specifics, but I mean, like, it's interesting that they're going with anime.
Yep.
But I mean, like, I think it'll still be good. It's Lord of the Rings, so yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited. Like, I guess there's not much else to say other than I'm excited to just kind of see what's going to happen with it because it's so far away.
Oh, sorry.
It's just so far away. That's kind of the most I can say right now is that, like, I'm like, cool, more Lord of the Rings stuff. Bring it on.
Yeah. Yep, couldn't agree. But then the other thing is the Lord of the Rings Super Bowl trailer came out at the Super Bowl, and let's talk about what we thought of it. And there's been a lot of criticism on that I want to quickly address. I'm not here to talk forever about it, but I mean, I thought the trailer was interesting. Again, it's like the show's not out for 7 months, so I'm gonna tell you, I expected a teaser, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
And I did not have high expectations going into this trailer because I knew it was 7 months out, and usually they don't release TV show trailers this early on, considering there's still a lot of behind-the-scenes production and other stuff that will be going on at this time. So I was even surprised they even released the trailer this early. So I was just thankful for that, and no, I enjoyed it. It was just a little, again, it's a teaser. It was a tease at what's to come, and I don't know. I am looking forward to it and to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I think the teaser kind of kept up the kind of the element of diversity that they're trying to go for about how this is going to be expansive, because it was such the way that they cut the trailer, it's like a lot of quick cuts. It's a wide variety of like new faces we've never seen. You see people like different, again, it was very like worldwide, right? You saw like different people of like distinctively different races or tribes kind of throughout the trailer. So yeah, and again, like they haven't really even like talked too much about what the story is. I think they're just kind of focusing on getting people excited about the world building at this point, which is probably a smart move, honestly, in my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was excited. I mean, so yeah, the main character, it's gonna be like mostly like the main character is gonna be Galadriel, which is the girl that we mostly see throughout the trailer.
Yep.
And I'm excited about that. Galadriel, I think, is one of the most interesting characters in Lord of the Rings, so I think she's a perfect fit for being the lead role.
Yeah.
In this TV series. So, but then there's a lot of controversy over this trailer.
I was gonna say.
With I don't know how to word this. No matter what I'm gonna say here, it's gonna cause hate. So I guess I just gotta just say it how I think. I mean, I think they do have a point to some extent that there's people that are really concerned with this Amazon depiction of Lord of the Rings, of Middle-earth, I should say, that they're not being true to Tolkien's vision of Middle-earth. And they're complaining about there's been a lot of complaints, and I kid you not, this might sound ridiculous to someone that's not that hasn't read the books or has all this other information, but there's been a lot of complaints about the female dwarves not having beards, which that's debatable if they actually do or not.
Okay. Oh, so
I'm not here to confirm or deny that they actually do, because it is debatable. I don't care if you say in the comments that they actually do. It is debatable. There's no 100% fact that they do.
Okay. Interesting.
But so there's that, and there's a lot of people are upset that they feel like there's forced diversity in here, especially when it comes to having like different like colored elves and stuff like that.
Right.
And I can see where they're coming from to an extent, because like here's the thing, tokens work. If you want more diversity, thing is, so Tolkien designed Middle Earth to be like a mythology for England.
Right.
So guess what that means? Most of your cast is going to be Caucasian, and I've heard strong argument that these people are saying that they just have an issue just with the forced diversity in terms of that, because like you wouldn't see that in something like Black Panther. It's like all of a sudden if you had like a bunch of Asian and white people all of a sudden in Wakanda, that would throw you out, right?
Right.
And they're making that argument here, and I'm like, I think that is a valid argument. And I think the way you could do diversity, because here's the thing, I'm all for diversity in shows, movies, and stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of groups out there that have not been represented enough in shows.
Absolutely.
And I'm also under the boat where you don't force it.
Yeah.
So I am under that boat. And I think a better alternative would have been is if they wanted diversity, what they could have done is Tolkien does have other worlds that have other nationalities within the world, which, for example, is the Easterlands or the people of the South that are different colors. You could have an adventurer from one of these kingdoms that happens to be over in where Middle Earth, like the Gondor and where Numenor and Mordor and all that stuff is, right? You could have them over there, and I think that would be a way where you're not messing with the lore and also having more diversity. I just think that would have been a perfect middle ground. They didn't do that here, so on that, I'm kind of in the boat where like I'm not the biggest fan of it, but for me, I'm not going to be complaining online because one, I'm not on the internet all day.
Yeah.
For one. And I don't mean to like insult these people, but I think there comes a point where you if it's the only thing you're complaining about, you gotta rethink what you're doing in your life, right? I have to say that. If you're just constantly complaining, if you just say it once and like what I am now, I'm fine with that. But because we're allowed to have differences of opinions. That being said, I'm more under the boat where like as long as the diversity when I'm watching it doesn't feel forced and doesn't take me out of the show, I'm fine. Like if they don't have a character that's like I'm a woman first before I'm a character, because that never works out.
Excuse me.
If you have but if you have a badass character that happens to be a woman, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And the impression I have right now is that's how they've done Galadriel, is she's a badass that just happens to be a woman. Like I don't know until I watch it, but that's just the impression I'm getting so far, and I have to wait to see to watch it to fully have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
But that's basically really my 2 cents on the whole controversy on that. I mean, what do you think of what I mentioned, Josh? Just quickly.
Yeah. There's not much I can add to that, I guess. I mean, like, if you're complaining about, like, the forced diversity thing, like, till you're blue in the face kind of thing, like, yeah, you kind of... I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying it to, like, the people that literally spend hours on forums trying to, like, be like, this is insane. Like, first of all, like, diversity is important. So, like, if you're arguing it that much, then, like, you kind of need to back down a bit and kind of, like, take a different look at it. But, yeah, like you said, if you're spending that much time on it, then like really like you're being a little too nitpicky. I also agree though that like, Middle Earth is big enough that they, like you said, they don't need to force diversity because it's an expansive world with many different, I'm sure with many different cultures, races.
Yeah. Like
genders.
You could have done that, which I think would just solve this problem.
Yeah.
Instantly. And I do think like the people that are complaining about that are being reasonable, which I think is the vast majority that are complaining about it, do have a point in what they're saying that I do understand, and I don't think they're racist at all.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of them also agree that diversity is all well and good as long as it's not forced.
Yeah.
And I'm under the same boat. Like I hate force diversity too. Yet in my like own world, Cascadia, for example, I make sure to have a diverse cast.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I focus on the character before than their skin color. They're they happen to like I have like this badass swordsman who's like one of the most powerful guys in my world. Just happens to be black, but it's like he never like it's never like he's black first and then he's this character. No, he's this character who has these emotions and all that stuff. Like that's how you create really good a diverse cast, right?
Well, and
so as long as they don't take me out of it, I'm okay with it personally.
Yeah, well, and like I don't know, I've always said I don't like checklists when it comes to shows, and what I mean by that is that like, and I've seen it before, and it actually ticks me off more, and I feel like it's, again, we can't speak to this too much because like I'm not a visible minority or anything, but I would feel like it's more offensive when they do it like a checklist where they're like, oh, like give us brownie points because like, you know, we checked off all the boxes for diversity. We have like, you know, XYZ in here. So like, you know, you should consider us like a forward thinking show. I hate that because it's like, so now you're not even doing it for the sake of the show. You're doing it for your own image to be like, oh, see, like I'm liberal, I'm diverse. It's like, well, no, you're really not, because now I can tell you've done it just to, you know, fit your headline or your like narrative on like you as a person, where it's like if you're a true person of character or whatever, then you will just do it naturally and you won't have to feel like you have to put it at the front of your like checklist when you're making a TV show. That's the way I look at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's, so yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. But
no, I couldn't agree more with that. Like, if you're just worried about the checklist before anything else, then I think you're doomed from the start. Because your priority should be telling a good story. Yeah. And then this story can include a diverse cast. You can be like, okay, but you got to worry about the story first.
Well, I mean, like in Marvel's even another good example of that. Like when Stan Lee wrote his comic books, like there's a wide variety, right, of characters of races, genders, sexual orientation, like all that stuff, sexual orientations as well. So like, again, that's why sometimes, you just need to trust the world builder and kind of follow their guidelines, because most of them were very good at making sure that they're inclusive.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I mean, I know it's kind of a running meme that I bring this up all the time, and I've already brought it up once this podcast, but just if you look at a good show that has done minority representation, right? In my opinion, I think Arcane is really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have really good LGBTQ representation, female representation that did not take me out of it at all. In fact, like, I mean, I think Caitlin and Vi are my 2 favorite characters, and I'm going to be honest, I ship them hardcore. Like, I love their ship. But that's because they focused on creating interesting characters that have really good chemistry instead of just creating LGBTQ characters first, right? Yeah. That's how you get good representation, is like they just be like, okay, we need to have this romance story that just happens to be between 2 girls, and but then you have to make sure it's like any romance, you got to make sure they have good chemistry and all this other stuff, right? And I know that show did all the checklists. So I just, again, going back to Lord of the Rings here, I'm still cautiously optimistic for this show. I'm still excited. It's still the thing I'm most excited for this year. And I'll give my opinion when I see it. And like I said, as long as it doesn't take me out of the story or world and doesn't feel forced then I'm okay myself. But I respect your opinion if you disagree with me, if you're reasonable and disagree with me, which is like 95% of you. It's that, like, those crazy people that just go in forums all day and just complain constantly, complain like either for or against. Well, and like those people that complain all day about calling these people that have valid criticism and just calling them racist or sexist are just as bad. They're in that, like, they're just as bad in that 5%. In my opinion.
The fact of the matter is diversity is hard. Like, what I mean by that is, like, it's always going to be a point of discussion for sure, because, like, again, like, it is important, and like there's a diverse, like, just number of opinions out there and stuff. And so yeah, sometimes you just have to trust that like the shows are doing the best that they can. Obviously, I'm so glad to see that there's still people that are pushing for it, because like I said, you have someone like Jordan Peele where he does focus more on, he's like, I want to cast more African American people, right? And I think that, like, again, it's stuff like that you kind of just have to trust that when someone's passionate enough about it too, like they'll make it happen if they want to see it, kind of thing, right? So film is such, it's an art, right? And it's like, the cool thing is that, like, because it's art, you can do whatever you want with it. That's why I still give credit to guys like Tommy Wiseau, that, like, even though The Room is one of the crappiest movies I've ever seen, like, you know what? Tommy Wiseau, to him, he had a baller time making that movie. He loves it. Even if nobody else likes it, like, all the power to you, man. Because like, you still, at least at the end of the day, you still made something that you liked, so no one can really hate you for that. So
that's at the end of the day, honestly, is what matters most, is if you're proud of your work, because that is filmmaking, is its art, and there's no such thing as a perfect movie or show out there.
Except for Arcane.
There's just I mean, if you really wanted to, you could find nitpicks in Arcane. I'm not going to deny that. To me, I think it's a perfect show.
Yeah.
Like, again, it is, when I say it's a perfect show, to me, like, that means that it's not flawless. Like, of course, you could find flaws in anything out there, in everything. But just because, like, so that's just my opinion. Like, again, Lord of the Rings is another one that I think is just in the same category as that. But moving on from that, the final topic we're going to talk about is Jurassic World, which also had a trailer. I don't know why I'm talking like this now, but I'm pretty tired. Anyway, I guess going back to reality here, I'm going a little crazy right now. Jurassic World, they had a new trailer. They're having their, like, final movie. Right?
I hope so.
Their final movie.
I hope
so too. This is gonna be mostly Josh talking here, because I haven't seen the new trailer yet. And because I don't know, like, I enjoyed the first Jurassic World. Second one, not really. I'm not super excited for this, even though I do love dinosaurs. I mean, T-Rex, Gulgodon is like my boy. Like, I love. I mean, Mom, you're watching this. You know how much I love T-Rex. Like, anyone from my childhood knows how much I was obsessed with that dinosaur when I was a kid. I still love that dinosaur, even though I don't talk about it as much. But I'll let you share your reaction and what you're thinking as the big Jurassic. I'm gonna say you're a big Jurassic World fan, because I would say we're both really big Jurassic Park fans. But I'm just not as much of a Jurassic World fan. So that's.
I just decided to keep following them because, like, I've always loved Jurassic Park. I don't know. They can't do any wrong for me. I just enjoyed the dinosaurs. But no, I will say, I hope that this is much better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, because, like, that second one was it was rough. It wasn't, like, awful, but, like, it's definitely a bit of a dip for the Jurassic series as a whole. I don't know. I got super excited because, like most final chapters of movies these days, they're doing a bunch of callbacks. So in the trailer, we see the return of, like, Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant, and Ian Malcolm are all returning. The original 3 scientists of Jurassic Park. And then Dr. Henry Wu, who I didn't even realize this. You remember the guy from, like, the first movie that's there with John when one egg is? He's the villain now. I didn't realize that until I saw, like, Fallen Kingdom.
I was hearing some rumor about that,
But he was in Fallen Kingdom, so yeah, he's returning as the villain because, like, he's kind of the guy now that he's the lead Genesis. Wait, am I saying that right? Is it a Genesis?
The lead of Genesis? I think it's Genesis,
Yeah, of Genesis, and, like, he's kind of like their lead doctor now, so he's kind of the guy that's still trying to, like, use dinosaurs for monetary gain. But I guess I'm excited for this one because, like, finally, they're going for the idea, right, that, like, the dinosaurs that, like, broken out completely are now part of just, like, everyday world ecosystem from the looks of it. Which I think will be kind of cool because, like, I don't know, it's just, like, as Ian Malcolm once said, life will find a way. And so I feel like that's the best way to do the grand finale is, like, the dinosaurs are, like, out in everyday world. I hope they capture that. Like, I don't know, it'd just be funny if, like there's, like, a group of, like, teenagers camping and, like, a triceratops just, like, walks by and they're like, oh, cool, we're in the woods and there's a triceratops.
Yeah, you just in Yellowstone, man. You just see this herd of triceratops just herding by. It would be interesting if they really delved into how all these gigantic creatures are affecting the ecosystem.
That's what I mean. So
of the world.
Yeah.
And like seeing like a T-Rex hunting a moose.
Yeah.
And maybe like, and all of a sudden you hear that the moose are critically endangered because the T-Rexes are really specializing in moose.
Yeah.
Or I guess meese it would be.
But I don't know. I'm just excited that, you know, they're doing the callbacks of bringing back the original scientists. I'm sure we'll see more of the original T-Rex. They've rumored like Indominus Rex or a bigger dinosaur yet again.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
If you want a bigger, just put in Gigantosaurus. Like already, like I tell you, like
just do
if
Godzilla.
You want a bigger carnivore, just do Gigantosaurus.
No, just do
or,
Godzilla.
Yeah, even if you want to go really big, just screw it. Put Godzilla in there.
So yeah, I'm excited for like the original cast to return because like I loved them. I think it's kind of funny that like Ian Malcolm's Life Will Find a Way thing has become like that kind of like the focus of this movie. I think it's also very important in today's day and age to remind us why we need to be careful when we do science stuff. It's one of the longest running cautionary tales. It's like, oh man, we love science. It's like, yes, but here's what we should not do with it. And then I think I saw some joke. I don't know like how credible it was, but like apparently like there were a couple articles that came out that said that scientists are kind of like looking into like seeing if they could even like ever replicate dinosaurs again. But I saw a meme for it on like Reddit or something where someone's like, aren't there like 4 or 5 movies about why we should be doing this exact thing right now? So
I mean, I would love, like, I know it's kind of unethical, but like I would love to be able to, like, I would buy tickets to go to a place that if they had like actual dinosaurs 100% I would go. Like,
I know,
no
right?
question,
on
no
an
question.
Island where there could be a tropical storm that knocks out the
You know what? If I die to a T-Rex, I'm okay. It's like, it's weird. If I said like if I die to any, like if I die anyway, I'd want it to be like to a tiger or something, so that like at least my body is letting this tiger live longer, type thing. So at least like I'm benefited in a way because I love tigers so much. That's my logic. I'd rather not die, but if I had to choose like how I died, then that would be. I'm not gonna go just like when I'm 90. I'm just gonna take a flight to India and go in the jungle and just get eaten by a tiger.
You could.
And that's how I go. That's how I go.
Yeah, you could make it onto YouTube with that. It could be a clip of 90-year-old man tries to fight a tiger. That'd be pretty cool. Even if you don't win, people think you're a badass.
We'll see. That's a long ways away.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you now know Nick won't donate his body to science. He'll donate it to like the New York Zoo or something for the animals to feed.
Oh, I'm not gonna donate to a zoo. It's gonna be for the wild animal. Like I have to be the wild animal.
No, man, it had to be in a zoo because, like, couldn't you just imagine, like there's like
no way. I'm not doing that to a zoo.
Listen though, and here's why it'd be funny because, like, could you imagine like the day they feed your body to the tigers is like the day that there's like a 6th grade school trip at the zoo. They just see like it's like what's going on in the tiger cage. They just see like tigers like attacking your carcass.
But you know what? That just that's too much Tiger King.
Just teach the kids why you need to. It's like, yeah, kids, you need to keep your distance from tigers. Why you say here you go, and then they just toss your dead body into the. Kids are just like screaming no.
No, I wouldn't want to scar poor kids like that. It would be in the jungle. They'll support a wild tiger.
And that still would be like the one day that they're doing like tours.
Oh my
Tours
God.
through the jungle.
A safari tour of just little children. Little children from Germany, these innocent children from Germany, just in this safari, just see this 90-year-old man get eaten alive by a tiger.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be good. I'm sorry. That's a very
That
sadistic
completely
joke. But, like, I
derailed.
just think it would be so funny. Just.
But God, the things we say when we're tired.
Anyways, yeah. So like we said, it's right now to kind of wrap up the podcast. It's an exciting year for movies. So much coming out. So much to look forward to. We didn't even talk about them, but like you guys could also be on the lookout for like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer. That's exciting. They're bringing Knuckles and Tails back into it. Idris Elba's supposed to be voicing Knuckles. I know that like by this time we'll have like a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness full trailer out now. There's a couple other spots that you guys should check out, like from the Super Bowl with like so many different stuff going on with that. And then they also had another Moon Knight trailer. So honestly, just hop on YouTube, kind of scroll through. You'll probably see all the trailers. Yeah.
If we talked about everything, this would be like a 3-4 hour podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
This is already way longer than I expected it going to be.
So,
but yeah, we'll wrap it up here. If you guys did make it this far, well, we really appreciate you guys watching.
Yep.
And yeah, give a like and subscribe if you're not already for any more content like this. And we're going to be trying more diverse content going forward too. I'm not saying like as of next week, but in the coming months, we're going to be trying to experiment with different things and see what fits with our schedules, what we enjoy making, and how everything works, and go from there. So any support is extremely appreciated as we're just starting out our journey here on Black Squirrel Media with the Firkin Podcast and everything. So I guess we appreciate you guys so much. Sorry, go ahead, John.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I guess something we can kind of look forward to in the coming weeks is like, I know like Batman will be out like a week or two after this podcast airs, so that's something to look forward to. So yeah, like
holy crap, you're right.
Yeah, because it's like March 3rd.
I didn't realize it was that soon.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
damn. And
then we have like Moon Knight in March. So yeah, either way, kind of like what Nick said, we're definitely trying some new stuff. Yeah, so just get excited to hope. Well, we hope you guys are excited to see some of like our stuff that's going to come out with the respective content that's being released, either in movies or news and stuff like that. So it's an exciting time.
If you're not, we are. So too bad.
Yeah, exactly. but
yeah, and as we always say, if you guys have any constructive criticism or any tips on any feedback whatsoever on anything, please let us know in the comments or message. I think going forward, we'll also post our Twitter links in the description if you do want to contact us there. I think I'm a little more active on Twitter.
I'm trying to be more active,
but I don't just follow and like film related stuff. I do things from all over the place. So just a word of warning with that. But that being said, yeah, if you're interested and want to know if anything comes up with the podcast or anything like that, we will. Twitter would be the best way to stay in touch with us.
Yeah. I'm trying to get more active on Twitter again because obviously that's like where all the headlining news is, right? And then that way that could be our way to kind of like just share any content that we're enjoying with you guys, right? So yeah.
And go from there. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next Firkin Podcast.
Bye guys.